Dealing with a jealous mother-in-law. I'm 29 years old, and I've been with my partner for 12 years now. We met when we were pretty young, and things were going well until we decided to tie the knot. That's when the trouble began. My partner and I were thrilled when we found out I was pregnant, and he popped the question. Excitement filled the air, and I dove into wedding preparations with a wedding planner by my side. But, oh boy, did things take a turn for the worse. You see, my partner's mother, ever since we got together, didn't seem to like me. I never quite understood why, but I figured it might be because before me, he was a bit of a mommy's boy. When we started planning the wedding, things got even messier. My mother-in-law told everyone that I was lazy and irresponsible for not handling my own wedding. She spread stories that I was trapping her son with a pregnancy. We both chipped in for the wedding from our shared savings account. We thought it was a great idea since we'd always said we'd split the account if we ever went our separate ways, but my mother-in-law insisted that tradition dictated the bride's father should pay. Since I don't have a father, she said I should foot the bill. My fiancé shut her down, but the drama didn't stop. The breaking point came when I had a scary incident at the wedding tasting. I'm allergic to nuts, and even though I told the coordinator, the food had some, and I ended up in the emergency room. My baby was fine, thankfully, but my mother-in-law just couldn't resist blaming me. Turns out, she conveniently forgot to share my allergy information with the organizer. When my fiancé confronted her, things got heated. He accused her of messing with our plans and said he didn't want anything to do with her. But he eventually caved, and she crept back into our lives. I started feeling uneasy about everything. I couldn't trust his word, especially when it came to the safety of my baby. I began canceling wedding plans and quietly putting the refunded money into our shared savings account. My partner only found out when he checked on the cake order and realized I had canceled it. We had a tough conversation where I told him I couldn't go through with the wedding. I still loved him, but I needed to prioritize the safety of myself and our baby. I gave him back the ring and showed him what I had returned to the shared account. I explained that I had divided our money and taken my part. It's been a tough week, and we're both devastated. Our friends have mixed opinions. Some say I did the right thing, while others think I was out of line. But in the end, I had to do what was best for my baby and me. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law started spreading hurtful rumors about me, but I'm trying to stay strong for the sake of our future. Let me share 3 things my mother-in-law did, how my ex responded, and the time it took for him to let her back into our lives. I'll share them from the least serious to the most serious, even though they didn't happen in order. First, when I was visiting my home country during national holidays, my mother-in-law paid a friend to tell my boyfriend that I was cheating on him. They couldn't provide any evidence, so they changed tactics, claiming I forced them to delete everything. When I returned, my boyfriend acted strangely for a month, becoming controlling and checking my phone. Fed up, I demanded explanations, but he didn't want to talk. His sister spilled the beans, and I broke up with him due to mistrust. It took 6 months of no contact before he apologized and showed he'd kept his mother and my friend away. We got back together. After almost 4 months, he told me his mother had apologized, but I never received a direct apology. Next, a few years ago, at her house, she saw a scar on my abdomen and insisted I had a son I hadn't told them about. She kept saying I abandoned him or that he belonged to a married man. I left, but my boyfriend called me rude for leaving her talking to herself. I told him to defend me, or we break up. He confronted his mother, who had already spread rumors about me being a prostitute. 2 weeks later, she was going through my drawers, demanding to see photos of my son. She attacked me, calling me a whore. My boyfriend kicked her out but invited her to celebrate her birthday a month later. The most serious incident happened when we were 2 years into our relationship. We went to his mother's house for Christmas, but the dinner she prepared had ingredients I was allergic to. Realizing it just before eating, I couldn't touch anything. My boyfriend supported me, and we left. The next day, his mother complained, admitting she never loved me and did it on purpose. My boyfriend kicked her out and didn't speak to her for a whole year. She later faked a heart attack, and he let her back in after a year of silence. Update: it's been almost 2 months since my ex's mom tried to make me sick while I'm having a baby, and some pretty bad stuff happened. She kept saying mean things about me, like I cheated on her son and my baby might not be her grandson. I got really fed up and asked my ex to tell everyone that his mom was lying, but he didn't. Instead, he said we should do a special test. I didn't want to do what she wanted, so I blocked him and talked to a legal person about what to do about our baby. Things got quiet for a little bit, and some people said sorry, but it didn't last. Last week, my ex's mom barged into my home, where she used to live with her son, and she took my baby's pictures and my doctor papers. Luckily, I caught her, and she tried to say the pictures were also for her son. When I asked for my things back, she started yelling that I was taking her grandson away. It got really scary, and my neighbors helped me and called the police. She got taken away for being mean and taking my stuff. I also told the police about when she tried to make me sick. They found out she took my passport and money, saying she was scared I would leave the country with her grandson. After all this, my ex came to my home and got mad at me for telling on his mom. He even tried to hurt me, but his sister and brother-in-law stopped him and called the police. This was the first time he tried to hurt me. I have to say, my sister-in-law has always been nice to me. She always defended me, told her mom to stop, and talked to anyone who called me names. Feeling scared in my home, I decided to go back to my home country before my baby is born. Right now, I'm staying with my sister-in-law and her friend while I get everything ready. About the legal stuff, I'm thinking if I should keep telling the police because it takes a long time, and I'm almost 6 months pregnant. It's getting harder to leave before my baby is born.